Welcome to RD Tutorials. In this session, we are going to understand the cross-cultural marketing strategy and how it influences the consumer behavior. I'm your instructor Rajesh Durbala. I'm a faculty in business analytics and research methodology. So, moving ahead. India, it has opened up its economy since 1991. If you remember the LPG policy, that's the liberalization, privatization and globalization. And as a result of that, a number of multinational companies are operating in the country and more have sought to start operations here. Now, however, its trade tariffs continue to be high when compared with other countries, and it's a big bottleneck, it's an impediment, and its investment norms are also very restrictive. Now, before 1991, if you remember or if you know, India was a closed economy with average tariffs exceeding 200%. Okay, so that was quite high. Now, imports and foreign investments were restricted severely. The reforms process has been slow as the government started liberalizing only under extreme necessity. At the same time, a number of Indian companies too ventured abroad, either buying out companies or entering into joint ventures with foreign companies. The best example I can give you is like, that too, it's post-liberalization, but that did happen, like Tata acquiring JLR or Chorus. Okay, so Indian companies too started scouting out and they started acquiring companies. Okay, one of the major success stories have been the ability of Indian companies to get outsourcing business from foreign companies. Okay, the best example that I can give you is, I remember in the early years of liberalization when companies were the multinational companies started coming to India. The major outsourcing business that started pouring in India was the business of call centers. The first, one of the first companies I remember is the GE Capital. Okay, GE Capital started investing a lot in India, and that was one of the initial companies to start its operations in the country also. Okay, that was one of the pioneers in outsourcing business. Now, India is also part of various trade agreements, including the WTO. It has signed regional and bilateral trade agreements with, such as some of these are like the India-Sri Lanka Free Trade Agreements, trade agreements with Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, China, South Korea, India-Nepal Trade Treaty. You can also have like we have Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, that is CECA, with Singapore, framework agreements with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the ASEAN, Thailand and Chile. Now, as a result of regional and international trade agreements, trade is facilitated. Okay, trade is facilitated and the world is getting smaller every day. So what is happening? India is now connected globally. Okay, now it has a lot of connections with a lot of global economies, which are in turn interconnected. So business today seek to gain competitive advantage via international growth. Now, what's happening with all these things happening around? Okay, now what happens is, to achieve competitive advantage, managers, marketeers have to take certain decisions directed by cultural differences. Now, these include, these decisions include which are related to pricing or communications or products. Okay, primarily I will elaborate on all these, that is prices, diversity, products, communications, symbols or standard of living. Okay, most importantly, number one, prices. One of the first decisions to be taken by companies serving foreign consumers is the prices they are willing to pay. For example, a company selling a soft drink in US for $2 will find it difficult to extract the same price from Indian customers. In a hot country, people will be unwilling to pay a high price for a product that is used often. Companies have to adjust to different cultures, and thus a high price for a product that is used often, that will be very, very unwilling to pay. So what will the companies have to do is that will adjust to different cultures and prices. McDonald's too is selling a burger in India for rupees 25, though it would be inconceivable to get anything for a price of half a dollar in US. Indian companies selling abroad will similarly have to take into account local cultural and exchange rates. So the profit projections will thus change in foreign markets. Okay, so companies have to decide their pricing strategy too cautiously, very cautiously. Okay, and the diversity. Companies take decisions with the cultural context of their home countries. However, when they have branches abroad, the cultural challenges is to be acceptable to consumers in those countries as well. Now, marketing strategies and decisions have to be taken that will be acceptable in different cultures. Like, for example, let us say I will give you a small example of Star Network's strategy. Okay, the Star Network was launched in India in the 1991, but it could make an impact only when Star Plus was relaunched as a Hindi entertainment channel in the year 2000. Since then, the company has gone from strength to strength. Today, it telecasts 33 channels in 8 languages, reaching more than 400 million viewers each week. Star Plus changed culture and redefined television in India with Kaun Banega Crorepati, with Amitabh Bachchan as host. The show made a history and
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.